Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving.
Good to see all of you gathered here today amidst all of the hustle and bustle of the holidays for a little bit of time of togetherness and quiet reflection. We stand at the cusp of a new year, and it feels right to talk about endings and beginnings, about those moments when life brings us to the doorways of change, to thresholds that mark a place of entering and of leaving, where the old is not yet gone and the new has not yet come. These places can feel uncertain, and yet they're also full of possibility. And so, in this spirit, we begin. As today's prelude, and we're going to see if this all works for me. As today's prelude, I selected a song called On Change by a group called Arinushka. They're a folk ensemble from Lithuania, and they explore the traditional music of ethnic minority populations in the Russian border areas. Their 2014 album, Old Faith, reflects on the human experience, and this piece reminds us that transformation can be universal and beautiful. One of the interesting things about Arinushka is that every single song on that album sounds incredibly different, with so many different cultures coming together. I really enjoyed learning about that. So this time of year doesn't just move us forward on a calendar. It asks us to stop and pay attention, to notice what has ended, to sense what is beginning, and to stand for just a little while in the space in between. As T.S. Eliot wrote, "For last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice." The turning of the year invites a pause, a chance to look honestly at what we carry, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to begin again. Moments like this shape us. They invite us to loosen our grip and open ourselves gently and humbly to what we cannot yet see. I really love how Thomas Merton says this: every moment plants something in the soul. We are always being made new. I invite you now into a moment of quiet, to rest in this living, unfolding moment together, aware that we stand in a sacred space of in-between. Debbie, would you come and light the chalice, please? We light the chalice this morning for the journey on, for what experience has planted in our souls, for the precious gift of this present moment, and for the possibilities that are forming but not yet realized. May this flame help us welcome the transforming power of hope and courage and love, especially as we hold both what has been and what lies ahead. Thank you. That went out amazing. We'll take a moment to read together from the hymnal number 419. And it's fairly short, so we'll just all read it together. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday was but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. And Matt, would you be willing to receive the offering? There's probably no song about change that's more iconic, maybe David Bowie, but I think Turn, Turn, Turn is really evocative. Written by Bob Seger and popularized in 1965 by the Byrds. We'll listen to this today as we gratefully receive today's offering, remembering that all seasons of life, joyful or difficult, have its time, place, and meaning. And just before we do that, I wanted to mention that I neglected to plan ahead a little bit and plan for not having Dale here for music. So the music today is recorded, but if you want to sing along, the words, if you don't know them, are in the program. And for those of you that feel the need to let your voice ring out, please go ahead and sing. So I'll start that up.
To everything, time, there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to love, a to everything turn, there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather souls together. To everything turn, there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to reign, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, there is a season, turn, and a time to every purpose under heaven.
Love that. Thank you. Okay, here we go. 1 year ago, just before midnight on New Year's Eve, my husband Rob died. We both knew that the moment was approaching. Sorry, I thought I was going to be able to do this. And when it arrived, when that metronomic rhythm of his breathing simply stopped, I felt terrible sadness and loss. But surprisingly, I felt something else. I felt gratitude. Gratitude for Rob having been, gratitude for the life that we had the opportunity to share for 22 years, gratitude for the clarity and dignity with which he met the end of his life, and for the gentle, love-filled passage that he took from this world. The grief has been real. It still is, obviously, and it always will be, and that's okay. But throughout this year, grief has lived alongside that gratitude, not as competing emotions, but as two realities that exist together. Rob's living ended, but what moved between us that fierce, bright current of love? Has not. And it is love. But not just love as an emotion. It feels alive. As if something larger has taken that up and is carrying it forward. A spark of connectedness, part of a greater aliveness that is wider and deeper than just any one life. And I know that this current doesn't belong just to me or even to us. It belongs to life itself, life with a capital L. This vast, mysterious life that keeps weaving everything together in ways that we cannot see and cannot control. I struggled for a really long time to find words for this realization, and I still don't have them, not really. I don't have a theory or an explanation, and for somebody who has a hyper-rational brain and needs to understand everything, that's been incredibly difficult. Some of the language that has been useful to me in my thinking came from a great wise man, Willie Nelson. And honestly, Rob would have been proud of me weaving that in here. Willie said, "Death is not the end of anything. We are all just energy that becomes matter. When the matter is gone, the energy still exists. You can't destroy it. It never dies. It just manifests elsewhere." So I am learning still to sit with the awareness that what truly matters doesn't really end. Rob's essence, his energy, his wicked quick sense of humor, the occasional stubbornness, his true generosity, his care for the underdogs, both literal underdogs and figurative underdogs, and his big, big love did not vanish when his body left this world. Instead, it keeps participating in big L life. And knowing that all of us belong to one continuously unfolding story, one endless weaving of energetic threads, has changed me profoundly. As I move through this past year, you all have become such an important part of my unfolding story. You showed up with presence, you gave me space to grieve, and gently invited me back into life. Through conversation, through shared work, through laughter, and I love the picture of Joyce, through music, and through simple companionship. With you, I learned that transformation is not about replacing what was, but widening the circle so that what was and what is can belong together and create what will be. And I began to see that the wisdom of this past year does not belong only to me, it belongs to all of us. This congregation, too, is standing at a threshold. As Dave retires and begins amazing new adventures with Linda, our community is shifting into a new chapter of our story, of who we are becoming. As I said before, moments like this ask a lot of us. They can hold gratitude and uncertainty, appreciation and lots of questions, sometimes all at once. These spaces are rarely comfortable, but they are where we do our deepest growing. None of this signals that we're losing who we are or suggests that we're unraveling, because the same spark of connectedness that greater aliveness that I mentioned earlier keeps weaving everything together, offering us an invitation to rediscover over and over who we may yet become. In the new year, this congregation will be called upon to be intentional, to listen deeply to one another, and to shape together the next expression of this blessed community. What an amazing opportunity awaits us in 2026. Every life and every community comes again and again to thresholds that we did not choose, but still must cross. Thresholds invite us to honor what has been while staying open to what is still emerging. To move forward, not forgetting, but building on what we remember. We know these seasons, when roles shift, when relationships evolve, when a loved one leaves us, when a year turns, when a community like ours steps into a new chapter. What matters most in these times is not certainty, but how we choose to walk through them with patience, curiosity, with care for one another, with gratitude, with hope, and with trust that shared meaning will continue to unfold as we move forward together. This moment invites us to believe, as Rumi wrote, that you start to walk on the way appears. That has certainly been the case for me this year, one foot in front of the other, confident that somehow all will be well. I look forward to continuing to walk this path of Big L life with all of you, discovering together what we will become. I love all of you. I love you, Rob. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I have a closing song, and then I know that there are a couple of announcements that we want to make. So I will go ahead and move to this. This song is actually in the hymnal, but I'm learning that you changes everything. And so I was all excited. I'm like, woohoo, it's in the hymnal. And then I listened to it, and I'm like, these aren't the words. These aren't the...
Thank you.
Yeah, I did think of you as I was going through that. So let me go ahead, enter my passcode again, and we'll go ahead with Ring Out Wild Bells.
Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the mind. For those that hear, we see no more. Ring out the wrongs done to the poor. Ring in redress to all unkind. Ring out the waning, dying cause and ancient forms of party strife. Ring the nobler modes of life with sweeter manners, purer laws. Ring out all want, despair and sin, the faithless coldness
So as we extinguish the chalice today, may the in-between places become teachers to us. May what is ending release us. May what is beginning welcome us. And may the love that moves in and through us and beyond us carry us across every threshold. Until we gather again, may we walk wisely and walk together. Blessed be. See, I told you I'd have to get it right the first time. So as I said, we have a couple of announcements this morning, beginning with the request from Dave and the board to spend a little bit of time sharing more about this transition and what that will look like for all of us.
Want me to go first? Catherine, I didn't realize what your topic was going to involve today. So thank you so much. The last time I remember hanging out with Rob was at Ira and Randy's several social gatherings and just hanging out, the two of us. Never had a chance to talk that much. He was always working, I was always working, and it's like, just loved sharing that time with Rob. So this is an emotional day for you. I give you hugs.
Thank you.
This is also an emotional day for me. This is the last Sunday morning that I'll be attending a Sunday morning service here in our cozy parlor for a while. And that's what we wanted the board and myself to share a little bit. People have been asking, well, what are you going to be doing in January? Are we going to see you? What are you, Linda, up to? So part of the transition and boundaries and shift of role, the UUA has been through this so many times before. And there's even a category for UU ministers who are retiring, who plan to stay and remain in the area. There's also a special category for those who have had an extended stay and have been settled in a position for a long period of time, such as 25 years, would qualify for a category of going slow and such importance of transitioning, where so many have long-term relationships met and maintained, and how do you move forward in this shift. So what I've come up with, my assignment was to come up with a 5-point outline of some aspects that are involved in this role shift. The clarity around Dave is no longer your minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Houlton. Here's what I came up with for 5-point outline. 1, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes. I just want to run this by you. 1, no contact with the church attending a Sunday morning service or attending church-sponsored events for a period of 2 years. 2,
That was profound.
all in nice for point of emphasis.
There, take that.
2, at the end of 2 years, reassess and form a covenant agreement with, by that time, a new minister will have been installed here in 2 years. So doing a covenant agreement with the new minister serving the church regarding the nature of our relationship. The board will also be developing this covenant relation, renegotiating this 2-year covenant at that point. So the language we're using, this is a practical case study in what is covenant and what does the covenant agreement look like. And This would be a good working example of agreements between two people, a board and a minister, congregation and a minister, the incoming minister as they arrive and whenever this interim period ends, are all negotiated for clarity and communication and trust and commitment through covenant. Number 3, no social contact with members of the church for a 90-day period following the date selected, which most likely would be in June 24th. There's a party, big celebration for me. As the party. January. What did I say?
June.
June. No. Oh yeah, January 24th. That would be the point where it would start this 90-day social contact for 90 days. 4, after 90 days, any social contact will involve what I call no church talk, or NCT. If I run into you at Hannaford in aisle 4, it'll be so great to see you, and we'll talk about anything and everything and how Linda and I are doing, except, church-related talk. I really, that needs to be off-limit topic. NCT. And I might say, NCT, no church talk. We kind of wander into the specifics of what's going on here. It's a clear boundary eliminates all that kind of confusion or overlap. And number 5, I'll also no longer be officiating weddings, funerals, or life passages, except in a supporting role with another minister. Well, in years in the future, the minister here at the Unitarian Society, I may assist them in a wedding or a funeral, have some role figure to be involved. But the protocol for professional clergy is, the minister of a church always presides at official events and vocation. Okay, that's my 5-point list. And Mary Alice is here representing the board. We have a little conversation. There may be some questions that we can clarify a little bit. So, what would you like to say, Mary Alice?
All right. Oh, we wanted to take this time to share this with you all together, that we could hear this. David and I have had amazing, deep conversations about the boundaries that are needed not only for us as a congregation that is moving forward into this time without Dave as our minister, but for Dave. And it is this, we talked a lot about boundaries as a promise. And we also spent a lot of time with what the UUA had to say about this and really taking in what are the lessons learned. And so we're glad to be able to do this. We have almost a month of absorbing and making sure you do all of those little things that you want to do before our 90 days starts. Seems like a long time, and there'll be a lot that each of us will learn in that period of when is it that Dave comes up in our hearts and our minds? What do we do now? And it was so appropriate when Catherine and I were talking about doing this after service. It's so clear that everything that you talked about the energy, the love, the connectedness, that we're walking with both those things, a grief and all of that incredible, divine, amazing, all of us. And so we wanted to leave time for questions. I'm here because some of the questions may be harder for Dave to have to answer. So I am gonna kind of moderate us. But if you have questions, if there's things that you want to say, now is a first time, but please do reach out to any of us on the board. Reach out to Dave. Dave will reach out to us, and you know, we're in this together. And we're very appreciative of 25 years is a long time that one has served. And I'm really, really, really excited about what the next is for you and for Linda.
Because I'll be here through January doing a lot of administrative loose ends. I'll be in and out of the building a lot in January, leading up to January 24, and working with Ford and coffee house people and cafe and tying up loose ends. That's January 24.
January
I won't be in the-
24th, we're gonna have a party.
I'll be turning in the key to the building on the 24th. And until then, I'll be, you know.
Yeah. Any, right?
It wouldn't surprise me if you've already done this, but I would hope that you would make out a list of all the different things you regularly do here at the church that we oftentimes don't even notice.
Yeah.
It's called Dave's List.
We're
Yeah.
on, the Dave's
Yeah.
list has been started, added to,
Probably several pages.
yes, yes. Any,
I just want to recognize retirement is a big change in anyone's life. And I've thought a lot about you leaving a place that has given you spiritual sustenance as part of that. And I just want to acknowledge that it is a especially challenging threshold and transition. So, yeah, be holding you in my heart.
A service such as today is a good example of that.
yes.
And
I'm gonna light, we can just, this silent candle, just to hold all of our, whatever it is.
mhm.
I have another announcement. Oh, Christoph, yes.
This covenant, when you first hear it, it sounds kind of stark, but it isn't. It's full of love and respect that we have to make sure we all go our happy paths and that we're here still for each other. We are family. It's difficult when there's change, and it's beautiful when you can open your heart to the other's future, and I want to thank you for that.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to show your support, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and help us out by sharing this message by clicking the share button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to the UU Church Houlton, there is a link to our online donations in the video description down below. And again, thank you so much, and have a blessed day.